There's a belief many SUV drivers have that simply isn't true. That all-wheel drive makes your vehicle safer in the rain. And on the surface, it feels logical. 4 wheels pulling the vehicle instead of 2 should mean more grip, right? But here's the problem. When it comes to the 2 things that actually prevent crashes, stopping and turning, AWD doesn't really help. And every year, thousands of AWD vehicles still lose control on wet roads for exactly that reason. Not because AWD failed, but because people misunderstand what it actually does. AWD does something interesting to drivers. It makes the vehicle feel very stable when accelerating. You pull away from a stop in the rain. No wheel spin, no drama. The vehicle just goes. And that smoothness quietly sends a message to your brain. This car has tons of grip, but that feeling can be misleading because acceleration is actually the least important part of driving in the rain. The real limit on wet roads is something much simpler: traction. When water covers the road surface, the tire has less grip with the asphalt. And that grip determines 3 things: braking, turning, and how stable the vehicle remains during sudden maneuvers. Here's the critical part. All-wheel drive does not increase tire grip. It only changes how power is delivered to the wheels. But the amount of traction available still depends on just one thing: the tire's contact with the road. This leads to something that surprises a lot of drivers. An AWD vehicle does not stop faster on wet pavement than a 2-wheel drive car. Because when you hit the brakes, all 4 wheels are already slowing down. Whether the vehicle is front-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive, or all-wheel drive. The braking system works on all 4 tires. And if those tires lose grip on the wet road, the vehicle slides. No drivetrain system changes that. The same thing happens in corners. When a vehicle enters a wet turn too fast, the tires have to hold the vehicle laterally against the road. But water reduces that grip. And once the tire reaches its traction limit, it can't hold the corner anymore. The vehicle begins to push outward. This is called understeer. And it happens to AWD vehicles just like any other vehicle. Because again, AWD does not increase the amount of grip the tire has with the road. Then there's hydroplaning. This is where things get even more dramatic. Hydroplaning happens when water builds up faster than the tire can push it away. A thin layer of water forms between the tire and the road. And for a moment, the tire is no longer touching the pavement at all. It's riding on water. At that point, the vehicle has essentially lost traction completely. And here's the key detail. If the tire isn't touching the road, it doesn't matter how many wheels are driven. AWD, front-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive. None of them can restore traction until the tire reconnects with the pavement. So what actually determines how well a vehicle performs in the rain? The answer is far less exciting than most people expect. The tires. Tire design plays a huge role in wet road grip. Grooves in the tread help evacuate water away from the contact patch. Specialized rubber compounds maintain flexibility in cooler and wet conditions. And tread depth helps prevent water from building up beneath the tire. But when tires become worn, their ability to move water drops dramatically, which increases the chances of sliding or hydroplaning. This leads to a reality that many drivers find surprising. In some situations, a 2-wheel drive car with excellent tires can actually perform better in the rain than an AWD SUV running worn or poor quality tires. Because at the end of the day, traction comes from the rubber touching the road, not the number of wheels receiving power. But the biggest issue with AWD isn't the technology itself. It's something more subtle: confidence. Because when a vehicle accelerates easily on slippery roads, drivers naturally assume the vehicle also has more control. They drive a little faster, brake a little later, take corners a little more aggressively. But the physics hasn't changed. The tire still has the same traction limit. And when that limit is exceeded, the vehicle slides. Some driving instructors even say AWD is one of the most misunderstood safety features on modern vehicles. So does that mean AWD is useless? Not at all. It can be extremely helpful for getting moving on slippery surfaces. Snow, mud, loose terrain. Situations where sending power to more wheels can help the vehicle start moving. But when it comes to avoiding a crash on wet pavement, AWD isn't the system doing the work, because the most important safety system on your vehicle isn't under the hood. It isn't the drivetrain, and it isn't the number of wheels receiving power. It's the only part of the vehicle that actually touches the road. 4 small patches of rubber, about the size of your hand. And those patches determine everything. Whether your vehicle has 2 driven wheels or 4, which raises a much bigger question. If those 4 patches of rubber determine everything, then what actually makes a tire grip the road? And why do some tires lose traction so easily? That's exactly what we break down in this video right here. Because once you understand that, you'll never look at tires the same way again.